y'all, this is She Buys It with Whitney Nicely. Yay! Hello! We are on the She Buys It podcast, and I've got an awesome guest for us today. This is Jennifer Hillegas. She's in Rome, Georgia, and she and I have been friends for right at 3 years. And I think our first move in the friendship department was she was selling some poinsettias to raise money for the junior league, and I bought about 15 poinsettia bushes, trees, plants, whatever they are, and said, hey, yeah, will you bring these to my house? I'm going to decorate the entire house because I just moved in and I wasn't really like settled yet, but I thought the poinsettias would kind of, take the edge off a little bit. And since then, Jennifer and I have done tons of deals together. We've done apartment deals together. We've done house deals together. We just did a private money deal together, or kind of. And I just think she is awesome. So she is an agent, she is an investor, she is a mom, she's got all the right things going on, and you're gonna love hearing from her. Jennifer, is there anything else you want to add in there before we get started?
You did an awesome job introducing me. I don't think I could do any better. So yay. You did
awesome.
Great. Thank you.
So
did you say I own my own brokerage and I have realtors that work for me too?
Now that's making some money.
Yeah.
See, I have my own firm. I have my own firm, but nobody works for me.
That's right. I work for me.
I love it. What's it called?
Nice Cribs Realty.
Nice.
NICE, because not everybody can afford an MTV crib, so we'll find you a nice crib.
I love it. I love it.
And I just opened a separate commercial division, and it's called Sign Your Deed Realty.
Ooh.
That's what every seller has to do.
I like that.
Yeah, we're gonna have a lot of fun with that.
So tell me more about that. It's commercial. What are you doing?
Yeah, we're gonna list and sell commercial properties, and I may get into actually managing the rental side. Leasing out the spaces and doing all that good stuff.
All right, that's fantastic.
Yeah.
Sign your deed.
Sign your deed realty. It just kind of rhymes. So, and everybody has to do it in order to sell their house, right?
That's right.
Unless they do lease purchases. So.
And then they sign it later.
Eventually, they're going to sign my deed.
Eventually, you got to sign this thing.
So it's, it's one of those you listen to it enough and you're going to be doing it.
That's right.
And you can picture yourself doing it. So then you're signing that deed. So.
Well, take me back to the beginning. Tell us a little bit from your perspective. I remember it, and I told a little bit of it earlier, but how did you find me and how'd you get started? And I think you had a little bit of an aha moment when we first connected. Tell us that story.
Okay, so yeah, you talked about the Junior Service League. I think I posted that we were selling the plants, and you're like, hey, I want some of those. And I'm like, okay, great. And then I started clicking around on your Facebook page and finding out what you're all about. And then the next thing I know, I signed up to be on your newsletter. And then I started getting the invitations to watch this podcast or watch you live on Facebook. And for me, what happened was you reminded me of something that I had forgot about that I had done in the past that was so freaking amazing. I mean, it was like amazeballs, no stress. It was this easy way to sell real estate and make money. Or, well, it's all in the way you buy it. And so you reminded me of that. Because what happened was in 2003 or 2004, I had been taking real estate investing classes with a company down in Cartersville. And I opened my company, Nice Cribs LLC, and that was my real estate investing company. And so me and my high C personality husband were going to buy and flip houses. But the problem with a high C is they never make a decision. I always had it worked out in my brain. Yes, these numbers work. This one's great. Let's do it. Let's go. And I had the contractors lined up and everything. And then he'd be go, put the brakes on. Wait a minute. No, we can't buy that house because then what if this happens? What if that happens? And it was the what if syndrome. My husband has that because he's a financial planner and everything has to be safe. And he doesn't take risk. And I was like, oh my God, he's driving me nuts. So in the meantime, I was a mortgage lender taking those classes, and then I was a mortgage lender that was on a referral basis. Like all my clients were 100% referred to me, not by realtors, mind you. They were referring each other because of how good my service was. So I started referring them to realtors that I liked, and then they didn't return phone calls and they couldn't find them houses and blah, blah, blah. So then I thought, okay, that's fine. I'll just go ahead and get my real estate license. Went a little bit brain dead there for a minute. And then a minute turned into about, I don't know, let's see, how long ago did me and you connect? About 3 years ago. So that minute turned into about 8 years. Okay. And during that 8 years, I was a foreclosure agent. So I was a 24/7, 365 agent to a computer and snarky people on the other end, you know, and just spinning my wheels to make a buck. And the whole time I had forgot about the whole reason that I opened Nice Cribs, which was to be a real estate investor. And I sold my soul out to being a dang realtor. That personality is, it's out the window now. I am not the personality of realtor. I am the real estate investor. So thank you for that gift. Thank you for that gift.
Tell me the difference. What's the
my sanity?
What's the difference in the, you know, regular real estate agents, which neither one of us are regular real estate agents. We're both brokers. We've both got our own firms, but we're investors. What's the difference?
Well, the difference is the mindset is, see, as a realtor, you're worried about putting a buyer and a seller together and pleasing everybody that has to be pleased to make that deal work. And as a real estate investor, you're the one that has the ball's in your court. You're making the offer. You're controlling the whole transaction from start to finish. There's a little bit more control, I feel like. And I'm not a control freak, no, by no means, but I really like to be in control. I mean, like, I like to know, here's what the seller wants, and this is what I want, and then here's a buyer, and we're going to do the deal. So, because when you're the realtor, you're like a puppet. And, you know, the seller might say one day, oh, I want $85,000 for this property, and you get them that offer, and then they go, oh, no, I think I want 90. You know, there's people out there like that.
Yeah, there are.
Yeah, they change their mind, and they have the right to change their mind. And sometimes you'll list their property, and 3 weeks later they'll say, "Oh, I don't want to be listed anymore. I want to rent it." You know, so you're not in control as much as if you're the real estate investor. You can control your destiny a little bit better. So I like that part of it. Not to mention the paycheck's better. I mean, just set the paycheck aside. You know, it's the control factor. Because if I can control the situation from the beginning, then I have a better result in the end. So thank you for that gift and reminding me why I really got my real estate license was to be a real estate investor. And
so I started off kind of similar. I started out as an investor, and then I thought, well, shoot, I'll represent other investors, so I'll get a license. And then I realized that other investors were just as crazy as regular buyers and sellers. So that's why I don't have anybody working with me, is because I know everybody's crazy and I am a control freak, and I just want to control the deal, or I want to be done with it.
Yeah, me too. Yeah, I mean, when you're dealing with other realtors, sometimes it's like dealing with 4-year-olds. They don't have a reason for the way they act. And you can't figure them out because they're so temperamental. But I love real estate investing because it's you quickly figure out who needs you desperately. Like there's more desperation when you're a real estate investor than there is when you're a realtor, because there's this definition that goes with realtor, and you're just this personality. You're not this person. Like, I'm the hero when I'm the real estate investor. Okay, I am their hero. I've got my super cape on, Hero Jen, and we are putting deals together that's changing people's lives, because like the last deal that I did, I flipped it within, okay, I'm going to tell you this deal. From start to finish, it was in Rome in the economic development, their economic redevelopment area.
Rome, Georgia.
Yeah, Rome, Georgia. Lady calls me up. She goes, hey, I saw your number on a sign. I'm like, okay, great. So you have a house to sell? And she says, yes. And I said, great. Where's it at? And she told me, and I said, okay, well, when can I come look at it? She goes, I live in Cedartown, so how soon can you be there? I'm like, I can be there in 20 minutes. Will that give you time to get from Cedartown, Georgia to Rome, Georgia? She said, yes. I said, okay, great. She goes, I just want you to know I am sick and effing tired of this house. I was like, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
I was on the hook. So I said, how much do you want for the house? She said, I want $10,000 for it. I had an offer for 12, and those people jacked me around. And I'm thinking to myself, anything's worth $10,000. It's got a roof and 4 walls. We're going to do something here. So anyway, while I was going over there, I called my contractor, who's also a real estate investor. I said, hey, I got this house that I want to go look at. I said, can you come look at it with me? Because yeah, I can be there in about an hour. So I was able to meet with her, get her to sign the document, give me the key, and then she was gone. She was already back to Cedartown. And he comes in, he goes, hey, how much you want for this house? And I said, I'll take $25,900 for it. And he said, I'll give you $22,500. I said, okay, let me see. Let me think about it. He said, I'm going to close it in 7 days. I said, okay, great. So we inked the deal for $22,500.
Right there. You hadn't known about it for an hour.
Not even an hour. Yeah,
I love this.
I had his signature on it in less than an hour. So.
And you made 12 grand?
12.5. Yeah, after I paid the lawyer fees, it was about 12. So
I love that. Agents can't do that on $100,000 house, and you did it on a $22,000 house. You can't pull 6% and make a whole bunch of money on $10,000 houses unless you're an investor.
And the reason I love it is because it's just all about numbers. Like there's no emotion tied to it. The guy I'm selling it to is an investor, so he don't care. It's just a numbers game. Can he renovate it? How much is it going to cost him? Will that be low enough that when he rents it out, he's got cash flow? Sure. Yes. We're going to flip it. We're going to make it a 4.2. He's going to make it a 4.2. And so the private money had to come into this right here, because this guy usually, he's got a lot, he owns about 25 properties in Rome now, and we had a few of them up for sale, and we have one under contract that's supposed to close in just a couple of more days. Well, his investor that normally gives him money decided to start building houses, so his money's tied up, and I didn't know that until like the day before closing or 2 days before closing. And so I called Jason. I asked you, did you want to go in on it? And
I couldn't because it was out of Tennessee.
Yeah, what happened was I would have loaned him the money, but I had just put my money on the house in Huntsville. So in Huntsville, Alabama. So I'll tell you about that one in a minute. But on this one, so I called Jason up and I said, hey, Jason, I've got a guy over here that needs to borrow a little bit of money. He had $10,000. He needed, so he needed like $16,000 because he wanted to hurry up and get started doing some of the repairs already. So I called Jason, and Jason said, yeah, we'll do it. And he told me his fee and everything. So I told my client or my investor, and he said, yeah, and we'll give him a lien to put on this other house that we have under contract that he owns free and clear in West Rome. So he was able to utilize the money that Jason had to loan. And Jason's only going to be out that money for like 2 weeks, maybe at the most. He'll get his money, and his money is a lien on that property. And I had the lawyer type the lien up, and we recorded it for Jason because Jason was in Tennessee.
Jason, if you don't know, is my husband, and we recently went to a private money profits event in Louisville, Kentucky that I do with April Crosley, and he's been super excited, wanting to loan somebody some money. And Jennifer is in First Build and Fast. Jennifer's in Apartment Blitz with us. She's definitely like in with this whole tribe of women that I have that are doing deals, and you can tell she's actively actually doing real deals. And so when she called and she had this opportunity, Jason jumped on it. He just knew that this was his first chance to be a private money lender. It was only going to take $16,000. He's got a lien on a different house that's worth way more than $16,000 or $25,000. And so he's really in good shape on this deal. And I couldn't loan on it because I don't know what the deal is with the different states and laws and things, but my attorney, my accountant, they don't want me loaning outside of Tennessee right now. So that's why I had to pass on the deal. But I'm telling you, I'm doing a deal in Memphis right now. I've got $100,000 out to do the purchase and the rehab on it. And percentage wise, Jason's making more money on his $16,000 deal than I am on my $100,000 deal. And I've got a lot more at risk and out than he does. So there's just different deals all the time. And when you're active and you're actually doing deals and you're running around with other people doing deals, they just keep floating up to you, right?
Yeah, I'm sorry. My for some reason, the audio cut off there for a second. So what was your last question?
Well, I was just saying, when you do deals and you're out there talking to people that are doing deals, it's coming back at me. Can you hear it?
I can hear you now.
Well, I got feedback now. I get myself twice.
Uh-oh. That's crazy.
Let's see. No, you'll have to turn it back down, I guess.
My iPhone, and that's the only way it's going to allow me to connect.
We'll see. Can I still hear me? Hello? No? You must have done something else. Well, I said when you're hanging out with deal makers, you're hanging out with people.
Hold on. I'm sorry. Now can you hear me?
It's okay. I can hear you. Yeah.
Okay. Now, what was that question?
I just hear me too. I said when you're hanging out with people doing deals. No. It's too much.
It's too much echo. I can hear you great now.
Do you have me on an iPhone and on an iPad?
I have you on iPhone through my Bluetooth on my phone, on my car, because I have to keep my phone plugged in so that it will stay charged up.
Shucks.
I can switch to iPad if that makes it easier. It doesn't sound like there's any bounce back, on my end. When you talk, I just hear one voice.
But I hear it, and then I hear it again.
Oh, I'm sorry. That is aggravating, I'm sure.
Mm-hmm. Are you gonna switch to the iPad or take it off this Bluetooth?
It is. Let me get the iPad to come up. It was turned off, so I'm trying to turn it back on and get the I'm trying to get your email to come up so I can find the link to click into the.
Did I send you reminder emails?
You did. I've got it. It's pulling up now. So let's see if I can come in there twice, and then you can let go. Okay, great. So there's no actual. I'm gonna walk over here. My stomach is killing me. I did all this year after abdominal surgery, so it's been kind of crazy working this way.
I guess so.
But it's been fun.
Good.
How's your speaker now?
I can hear you. Okay, it's kind of quiet, but I can hear you.
Well, when you talk, does it bounce back?
Nope, I can only hear me once now.
Okay, good.
All right, fantastic.
What was the last question that you asked me?
I said, when you're doing these deals and when you're hanging out with other deal makers, that's when all these other deals start to flow, like the money deals or the apartment deals or other deals. You never know what that phone call is going to bring, right?
Right. You just, whatever you focus your attention on, that's what you get back. And so we've been putting out yellow signs, and we've been mailing yellow letters on a consistent basis. So it helps us to, raise the awareness that that's what we do. And every once in a while, from time to time, I'll post it on Facebook. I don't want to like inundate Facebook with I buy houses all the time, because I don't want to become the real estate investor as a personality, because I'm still a person. And that's what happened with real estate. Was I got entangled in that web of being that personality and chasing this stupid little trophy. You know what I mean?
I know what you mean, and staying in that rat race too.
Yeah. So my brokerage has the motto, okay, yeah, we're nice cribs. Everybody there is nice. And we operate on a level that life is great. It's not, I'm great and y'all suck, or we're great and all y'all suck. It's life is great. And so by adopting that, we've attracted greatness into our life. And you and Jason are some of the greatness that's in our life. And we're blessed to be able to know you and call you our friends and our business partners. And I'm just so grateful, and I appreciate, and I'm just very thankful that you come into my life when you did, because I don't even know why I'm about to cry, but I just needed you right when you walked in the door, right when you said, hey, I want some of them poinsettias. Like, I needed you bad. Yeah.
Well, good. Well, I'm glad I could help you. You've helped me a ton too.
Yeah. So thank you for the gift of reminding me about real estate investing and getting me out of the princess syndrome of needing a stupid trophy.
Well, tell me something else about agents, because we do creative financing, and I mean, that deal you're talking about is kind of a wholesale deal.
Yes, it is a wholesale deal.
And
sure.
Regular agents don't do wholesales. They don't do lease options. They don't do owner financing. So do you ever get any kickback from the regular realtors about being an investor?
No, I don't, because, I approach everything like this is a win-win situation. They know that when they call me, they're going to make money too. All right. So there's enough to go around. If I treat them right, they'll send me all kinds of deals. And when the poo-poo hits the fan again, because real estate recycles. It's like this all the time. So when the poo hits the fan and they're all crying because so-and-so's getting foreclosed, or they just listed this one 2 weeks and now it's going to foreclosure, they know they have a resource that has the knowledge to help them, get a reinstatement letter. And maybe, we'll do some subject to deal, like subject to deals, and, maybe it's a lease purchase. But anyway, we get the payments caught up. We take advantage of those low interest rate loans and, keep them in place so we can cash flow those properties. And you know what? Some of them will be open-minded and some of them will be closed-minded, and that's okay. I really don't care. It's a numbers game. If I talk to enough people, then I'll have enough deals, and, we'll all be happy. So.
One thing I learned is that when I got my broker's license and when I do my continuing education, there's whole chapters in the regular real estate world that they are required to take on creative financing. But then when they go back and they pass their exam or they get their hours, it's like that never happened. And now they want to say that everything I do is illegal. And I'm like, you just studied this. I was in the class with 50 of y'all. I just focus on this where you focus on new home buyers.
Yeah, you know what? I haven't come across that. I come across somebody saying something about my contract. I'm like, you know what? I've been using this contract for 15 years and I've never had a problem with it. So, if you want to do something different, then go find another property. I don't care.
Tell me your favorite creative financing and your favorite story. I love that one where we made 12 grand for an hour. And I mean, did you double close that, or did everything get funded and you just made a straight 12 grand?
Everything got funded and I made straight 12 grand. And then I did another deal about 2 weeks before that. And it was the same thing. I'd only worked on it for an hour and I made almost 16,000 on that one. So,
I love it.
I've done about 4 of those 1-hour deals. So if you want a 1-hour deal, I'll show you.
It runs 10 to 15 grand an hour.
I can be your 1-hour girl.
I love that.
That's wrong, isn't it? That is wrong.
So you said that you and your husband started trying to flip. Do you flip houses with your husband now, or you do your real estate?
No, absolutely not. He will analyze a deal till it's gone. I mean, like it's gone. And I'm like, I'm sitting over here. I could have already made. I could have bought Louis Vuitton, and we could have went on this vacation. We could have done it. And so it's like, so I got this deal, honey, and I'm already done with it. It's okay. He's all right with that.
So how does that balance work? Because we watch the shows and everybody looks so happy working with their husband and working with their wife, and it's just amazing. But in real life, I've had the same kind of situation with my husband where we really had to figure out who was going to do what and when we were going to shut up and leave each other alone. So how does that really work out in a real life marriage?
Well, my husband is an enrolled agent, which is a step above a CPA. He's the person you call before you go to tax court to settle your tax account. Plus, he is a certified financial planner. So his job doesn't work with me. Like he doesn't work with me. He might write yellow letters for me. That's about all I let him do because he takes too long to make decisions. Because he's frugal. He's frugal where I'm like, and he's too slow. So I'm like, I've already got the deal done. I'm your 1-hour girl, remember? He's your 1 month guy. Yeah. The 1 month guy, the deal's gone. Jennifer's done sold it and resold it, and now it's rehabbed and it's ready to be resold. You know, so Captain cannot be a part of that. I would have no hair left if he was a part of that.
But it's okay to be happily married and for you to do your thing and for him to do his thing and still be in real estate and not needing tagging along and dragging you down.
Well, yeah, we've been married to be 14 years, September 1st. So I learned within the first month of marriage. No, wait, we were dating. I learned in the first month of dating and going to those real estate investing classes in Cartersville that he wasn't playing ball the way I play ball. Like he was too conservative. And I'm like, okay, well, sorry, I'm done. I've already done the deal.
But that works and that's fine. And we can all live with that.
Yes, it's great. And you know what? He's a wonderful financial guru. He takes our money. Like some of the profits I make, I'll just hand it to him and he just turns it into 7 times the money. Like he does his thing and makes us money and I do my thing and make us money. So it's a beautiful thing. It's a beautiful meeting of the minds. But I learned real quick that we weren't doing deals together.
Let me ask you a different question too, because I used to do something called FDDF Live, and I would go around to different cities around the country and do a real estate event talking about First Little and Fast, and then I would have an agent show us some houses. And I think that was the first time we actually met in real life, like face to face. We've been Facebook friends, but we'd never seen each other. So right. Jennifer showed up and we went and did a house tour, and I had 20 people from California, Las Vegas, Texas, all over the place. And we did a full real estate event. And that was my first big event in, what was that, March of 17? Yes. Been 2 years ago. And yeah, so that was my first like trial run at having a bunch of people together and doing a tour, and we got our bus stuck on the trip and we all bonded, and it was an adventure for sure.
Yes, it was.
Jennifer came to She Buys It Live last year, which is now She Buys It Live. It was the last FDDF Live that we've done, but we're going to do those again next year. But it's She Buys It Live, and it's in Knoxville, and it's 4 days, and it's totally different. And I think you have a great perspective because you saw me at my second event ever, and then what I had grown it to, and then what we're growing it to again this year. So and you've been to other coaching events, you go to other seminars, you even coach yourself, don't you?
I don't coach real estate investing. Well, maybe that's what you call it. But I'm more of a, let's get you out of your internal chatter.
Yeah.
and get you into action. Like that internal chatter can create so much resistance that you do nothing.
Yes.
So I am the person that helps break that internal chatter out from you so that you can see that that chatter's not you. You're the one that notices the chatter, and then you change the chatter so that it benefits you instead of having a pity party and all that.
So from your perspective of, I mean, you've been going to events since 2003, 2004, learning about real estate investing. You go to real estate agent events, you coach with other people, you see it from a different perspective as other people do, I think. So what's the thing about She Buys It Live that makes it stand out and that makes it, you know, everything that I want it to be, but from your perspective as a professional on the agenting side, the investing side, and the coaching side, what's different about She Buys It Live?
Well, it's a wonderful, dynamic group of people that are truly there to help inspire each other, lift each other up, and provide insight. The insight that you will gain at She Buys It Live is so much more valuable than the cost that you pay for She Buys It Live. I almost feel guilty for not paying you more. Like really guilty.
I love that. You even brought a friend last year.
I did. Yes, I brought a friend, Jenna. And so it's just a wonderful environment. It's when you go to She Buys It Live, Whitney has real life investors that she's coached and she's taught that will come up on the stage and tell their stories. And it's not this cheesy car salesman-ishy environment. Like I've been to those in Atlanta where it's some guy and he talks really fast and you're like, holy crap, what did I just pay for? You know, and you just feel like you need a shower because they like shystered you. You know what I mean? And so you're like, oh gosh, what did I just waste my money for? And you knew before you left that you're not going to make a dime. They're just going to keep pumping you up to make more money. But your program has so much substance, and you're just a wonderful cheerleader for us all. And it's I can't say enough about it. It has been life-changing for me. So, and I'm a member of a mastermind group of top producing realtors that have big brokerages and stuff like that. And we have these sections in our coaching program. There's a before unit. That's people you don't know yet, and you're trying to attract them to you. And then there's the during unit. Those are people that you're working with right now, and they're not yet under contract. And they, you learn about reticulator activator. It's common. So when you're going through something, you attract other people into your life that are doing that same thing. So we build that, and then we've got an after program that consistently gives us referrals for people that we've already done business with.
I think I have one of those. Hold on, let me grab it.
Okay.
Is this part of it?
Yep, that's part of it. Where did you get that? Oh,
you mailed this to me.
Oh,
this is your magazine that I get for being a client or a customer.
What it is, do you remember that day I came over to your house and we did the video for me to endorse you as a real estate investing coach for your She Buys It Live, or FD, First Deal Done Fast? And so you're on my 5-star referral center, which is a website of all our 5-star service providers that we provide to all of our clients and anybody we come in contact with, so they can be referred to people that we trust. So you get that. And then not the next one, but the next one will be advertising your 5-star referral center. So
yay. Well, good stuff. And I also want to point out that you were at the first taping of Apartment Blitz.
Yes.
Where Jason and I talk about commercial deals, and we talk about, like we talked about earlier here today, apartments, offices, strip centers, shopping centers, strip malls, those kind of things. Mm-hmm. And it's grown and changed a lot too. Have you done any apartment deals? Any stories about that you want to tell us about?
Apartment deals. No, not really. I don't have apartment deals yet, but I'm working on some. I've got an investor that'll buy them from me now. And we tried to flip one the other day, but it just needs too much work. It's been condemned by the city. So that one's not going to work out. But if that one had worked out, I would flip it. I would own it for like 5 minutes, and then they would buy it, and I would have made $29,000 on that. And it was one phone call. No, seriously. It was like the little $12,000 deal and the other $15,000 deal. It was one phone call. I went and showed the property, and it would have, if it had worked out, it would have been a 1 hour deal also.
I love it.
And the most part was the most time that it took was to look at the property. Like the deal takes 5 minutes.
And we talk about this in Apartment Blitz. It's just different. When we're talking about houses, we're talking about like one side of our brain, but I think it's important for you because you're going through so many deals to be able to analyze different deals, because it takes different formulas, it takes a different process. And yeah, the money is good and the money is big, and it's, the same little green guys marching into your bank account, but you just got to look at stuff different on commercial deals. And I hope that's what you got from Apartment Blitz, because
yes,
different than houses.
Yes. And the Apartment Blitz, see, when it comes to the commercial property, and most people that are in commercial, they know it's just the numbers. Either the numbers work or they don't. And there's no emotion involved. And so that helps me to not be emotional. But Jason does a really good job in Apartment Blitz showing you how to break down the profits and the expenses, and it helps you remember that you gotta remember that you're gonna have so much vacancy rate, and your taxes and your insurance, and what if it's on a shared water meter, and how are you gonna handle all that? All of that comes into play, and Jason does a great job of showing you how to use the analysis worksheet, and then you get that so you can download it on your computer and you can just plug in your numbers. Yeah. Or you can hire Jason for $100 and he'll do it.
Yeah, I know, right?
Wait, maybe I shouldn't put figures out there for Jason, because now that he's doing private money profits, it might be something different.
Listen, I'll hire him out. He can be your man for 1 hour too. I don't care.
He might have to become a 1 hour man.
That's right.
But yeah, if you need a deal turned in an hour, let me know.
I think that's awesome. And you are doing a fantastic job. I'm so proud of you. And you're raising your son to be around these kind of deals so that it's not anything out of the ordinary for him, right? Like, right, I've seen him walk properties with you and stuff. How does that work, being a mom?
Yeah, he loves it. And, he's 7 and he's been in it his whole life, because I've been a realtor since 2004. And my older son, I was a mortgage lender from 1989 to 2010. So he's in it too. So they're both immersed into it, and they know that, if it's a good deal, we're going to go do something later.
I love that. I love training those kids.
My little boy, he's got a program on his iPad now where he builds houses. And he's like, the other day he said, "Look, Mommy, this one's got a pond like that house over there on such and such street." And I'm like, "How do you remember that house?" Like, I didn't remember that house had a pond. He remembered it had a pond. And I was like, "Oh, okay."
They pick up on the darndest things, and who knows what that seed will turn into. He could be an architect. He could be a flipper. He could be a designer. All of that stuff would be amazing.
Wide open. So we're just excited.
Well, tell me, if you have some advice for women who are trying to get started and they want to be just like you when they grow up, what would you tell a woman who's beginning this investing career and she's thinking $12,000 an hour, $15,000, $29? No way, it'll never happen to me. What do you say to those women? Is this real?
Yes, it's real. I mean, I can show you the paperwork. I can show you the contract where I wrote to purchase it, and then the contract where we closed it with the settlement statement. And it doesn't lie. I mean, it's just cut and dry. It's public record. You can look on public record and see that I owned the property one day, and the next day, the next person owned it. Like, literally, I own it for like 5 minutes, because their money funds the deal. I don't even use my money. I didn't even use any earnest money on either one of those deals that I've done in the past for 6 weeks. I didn't use any earnest money.
Now tell me, When you say you didn't use any earnest money, you mean you put no money down and bought a house?
Exactly.
Or tell the truth now, did you put $10 down?
Nope.
Nothing.
Zero. Big fat goose egg. Zero. And it's on the settlement statement. It says earnest money, zero.
Now, people tell me all the time that you got to put lots of money down for earnest money. And what happens if you lose that money? Now you're trying to tell me you put no money down.
I put no money down because remember, the people that are selling are desperate and I'm their hero. Like they are ready to throw in the towel and just, give up.
Well, how do you find those people?
Okay, well, I use your strategies.
And first still done fast, but you put up bandit signs or yellow letters. That one woman called you off a sign.
Yeah, she called me off of a bandit sign. And then I had somebody call me today on a yellow letter for a house. So that might turn into a deal when I call them back. But yeah, we don't send out very many yellow letters because, again, my husband's too. And you know what I said? I love that man. He's so precious, but he doesn't get in a hurry to do anything because he doesn't have to. He's already, So I think he mails out 10 a day, 4 days a week, and I get like maybe 5 or 6 calls a week.
That's a good return rate.
Yeah, it is. It is.
So tell me, and I'm going to ask this again. What kind of advice do you have for a new woman trying to get into investing and she wants to be you next year?
Okay. The first piece of advice I would give her is to keep a positive attitude. Don't let people put you down. You can do anything you set your mind to do. And this is one of those life-changing things that you can do. There was a point in time where I had $3 in my checking account and an eighth of a tank of gas, and it was 45 minutes one way to work. And then I learned real estate investing. And then, things change. And so I'm telling you that if I can make it through that, then anybody can make it through anything. Oh, and by the way, I was driving a car that was older than I was. So it was a touch and go there for a minute, but I did a deal in 1997. It was in 1997, and that deal, I didn't even know what I was doing. It just fell in my lap, and it was one of my dad's friends, and I just helped him. And next thing you know, I had a brand new car that was paid for because I made enough money on that one deal. And if I had to go back and really retrace my steps, that was probably a 1-hour deal too. And I didn't even have a real estate license then. I never told you that story yet. So, but it's a good one.
Well, we'll have you back on the podcast and you can tell us that story too. But that was back in 97. That was way before you knew me.
Yes. So
7th grade in 97. Just saying.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, we got a little bit of spread between. I was 26 in 97. So yeah.
But you're out there doing those deals and people are telling me like I made this up. I didn't make this up, guys. People have been investing in real estate for hundreds of years. It's just that women started investing in the last probably 30, 40, 50 years?
Probably. Yeah, probably.
And now we're killing it.
That's right. Women rule.
That's right. She buys it, baby.
So for the newbies, come back to the well, drink the water, and you'll get the inspiration that you need. All the inspiration you need is right here at She Buys It.
Thank you. I like that.
And you stay connected. Stay connected with your source, and that's Whitney and everybody that's in. Whitney, here's the deal. Like attracts like. Okay, so if you like Whitney, you're going to be attracted to what Whitney's doing. And Whitney brings into her circle people that are like her. It's just by default. So surround yourself with people that are like what you want to be, and that's what you're going to be. And then find people that know more than you know so that you can learn from them and grow and have a deeper understanding and a new, fresh mindset. It took me slowing down and listening to one of Whitney's podcasts to be like, oh, you know what? I forgot about that part of real estate. What the heck? And you know what? After I listened to Whitney, it was like a week later, I had another deal. And I was doing, I was using the Georgia Association of Realtor contracts on that deal. And because I hadn't yet took your class to get your contracts. And I remember standing on Broad Street, having the guy sign it. And there was an authorization to show unlisted property, and it had the people's name on it. And then it had my commission. Listen to this. The price of the house was $8,000 and my commission was $4,000. He was selling the house for $4,000 and I sold it to my people for $8,000. That's been a few years ago, but
yeah, but that's the kind of money that regular real estate agents need and are desperate to make, and they can't figure out how to do it, listing it and then paying their broker and then paying all this other stuff. It's because you got to become the investor. That's how you get ahead.
That's right. And let me get real with you. I needed $4,000 like the day before I inked that deal because I was in that realtor chase trophy mindset, and Whitney brought me back into reality. And I was like a nanosecond from closing my door. Like, that's what an impact your message and what you teach had on me in my life. So I'll be forever grateful. And yes, just always know, anybody just starting out, that this is something, if you put your mind to it, you can do it. And
I didn't know you were that close. I had no idea. That is awesome.
You know, it was a bad transition. It was like the transition from foreclosures to a normal market, but we weren't yet in the normal market. So I had 6 deals under contract that would not appraise. And then I had 6 more that had bad deeds on them because there were foreclosures. And I'd spun my wheels, and, you know, you hurry up and you get all these tasks done for the foreclosures, and then you get it under contract, and then bam, you find out, oh, well, the deed's not good. They didn't foreclose right. Oh, it's going to have to go back to foreclosure. What? No, we don't have to deal with that now. And shortly after I got my wits about me and started paying attention to what you were teaching and applied that, then it was like, okay, we're not doing foreclosures anymore.
No, I don't like the F word.
I was so happy to say goodbye to them, but we have gotten into where we're buying some pre-foreclosures, and that's a different podcast.
Well, we will have you back on the She Buys It podcast. Jennifer, this was awesome. I appreciate you so much. And y'all, Jennifer's in First Little and Fast and Apartment Blitz, like I said earlier, which are 2 programs that I have. But she's also in the free She Buys It group on Facebook. So if you would love to reach out to Jennifer, I know that she loves to interact with everybody and share her encouragement too. So please, there's a link down below, but you can go to shebuysit.com/group to join the free She Buys It group on Facebook. And Jennifer's in there. But if anybody wants to check you out or look at your website or get in contact with you for your coaching, how should they go through that, Jennifer?
I don't per se have a coaching company. I'm right now doing mine for free. So they can just send me a private message on Facebook, and I can get them put into my schedule.
Awesome. So get in our Facebook group, and Jennifer will be in there. You'll see her. You can send her a message. Tell her you heard her here.
Yeah, I'll post my phone number in there a little bit later on. How about that?
Awesome.
Thank you, Whitney.
Thank you.
Keep doing what you're doing. You're doing great.
You're doing great. I'm so proud of you. Keep rocking it.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.